Hello everyone. So today we're making a cake stand. This is the mold. This is a 12-inch mold. I'm wearing my gloves. These are gloves for resin. Um, so it's very important to wear gloves, when you're making resin and even the mask. But I'm not wearing mask for this video. And I have I have taken my resin and hardener in 3:1 ratio, and I'm mixing it now. While mixing, you have to be very sure that you mix it thoroughly, that there are no thread like structures, and it's a very homogeneous mixture. See, this is the mixed resin. You can see how clear it is and how foggy it was before. So you have to make sure you mix it thoroughly. I still could see a few strands of thread like structures, so I kept mixing more. So after mixing, I have to now add the pigment in it. You can give it a rest for around 2 to 5 minutes after mixing your resin, so that the bubbles can release and burst. So now I'll mix my pigment in that. This is the brown pigment. I will show you the brown pigment. This is the brown pigment in liquid form. So I'm gonna make it a brown color, because it's been a while, I could see lumps in my pigment. It was not as smooth, so it gave me a really hard time mixing it. But anyways, the color was very nice though. It's a nice brown, transparent kind of brown color. I like it. So now I'm gonna pour, after mixing my color into it. While mixing the color also, you have to be very sure that you do not see any thread like structures and or anything in the resin or the color threads. It's mixed properly into the resin, otherwise it'll show up in your piece and it won't look nice. The same thing happened to me. I'll show that to you later. So I'm going to I've mixed my color in it, and I'm pouring my brown color. I made around 200 grams resin, or 150 grams resin and 50 grams hardener. But while pouring, I realized that it's not going to be sufficient. So I had to make more resin. After pouring, I realized that it's not, what I mixed isn't enough for the piece I'm going to make. So I mixed more resin and kept it aside. Until then, I am putting the leftover brown color resin in my mold. This is, I wasn't sure of the shape or the um, design that I wanted. I kind of had an idea, but wasn't very sure. So just experimenting, and resin is always as experimenting only. You can never be very sure of what you are going to make and what the outcome is going to be. So I was giving it a shot, and I put my brown color in it, and I'm mixing my other pigments behind the scene. And I had the thing of using gold foil this time. So you can see in the side, in the corner, that I am mixing my gold foil in resin without any pigment or color. It's just transparent resin with gold foil. So I wanted to give this kind of effect, try this kind of effect to this piece and this piece this time. So I was, and you know, using gold foil is not as easy. Like, it can just fly away or fly into your pieces or stick to your gloves or hands. It's not very easy process, but you can obviously do it. But it looks very, very good. It gives a very nice effect to your pieces. So I wanted to try this in this piece, and I was mixing my gold foil, and then I made a white pigment, white pigment. And you can see the white pigment there, white colored resin, and a golden mica powder pigment I had. and I wanted to use that as well, so I was mixing that to give a nice golden, because the stand I have is also golden in color, so it gives a nice effect to it, adding the gold touch to it. So I was mixing my golden mica powder in the side, and I have all my colors. That's the brown color in the corner that with I made with my the resin. I mixed around 160 grams resin more, so that's around 360 grams resin I used in total to make this piece. And you can see my golden color is also ready, and I've kept it for 2 to 3 minutes to rest and the bubbles to release. And you can see the shape, the brown color on the mold, how it's changed from the beginning, because resin is fluid and it's self leveling, so it keeps traveling and moving, so it's never in place until you leave it and let it thicken for some time. And I felt at this point that I should add more golden foil to it in my resin, so I added more golden foil and some resin more to that. Now I'm going to add in the gold foils to the resin piece. At this point I was very unsure that whether I should add the gold foil in the middle or in the corners and the sides, so I was pretty confused, but I ended up going with the middle one. Before that, I'm putting the white colored in the center. I didn't want to go all the way in right at this point, because I didn't want the colors to mix, so I just put a little bit and I would add on more later. So after I'm done with the white pigment, I went in with my golden one, and in the beginning we saw there was a lot of space here, but due to resin it just closed up. And now I'm adding my resin, the golden foil, sorry, in the center, in the as like a divider between the white and the brown, to give it a nice effect. So you can see this is a very long process. I mean, I did it in a long way, so you can just see me adjusting the foils and taking out everything from the glass how much ever I could. So you can keep on watching. I'll just come back. I So when you're mixing gold foil, no, what you should do, you should put gold leaves, gold foil in the glass, and put little bit of resin, not much, little bit of resin you should put, and then mix it thoroughly. In that way, no, the foil will break out easily into small pieces. And if you put a lot of resin at once and then mix gold foil in it, then it'll be difficult and take longer to break into pieces. And now I'm adding the leftover brown pigment that I made into the mold. With this brown pigment, no, I had few lumps because it had dried up little bit, so it wasn't mixing well. And I do not like to waste resin at all because we all know it's expensive. So I try to scoop out and drop in all that I can, each and every drop that is possible to get it out from the glass. And now I'm adding my golden mica. You can see how beautiful it looks, just the golden mica. I love it. So I'm adding it to the sides to get a nice golden touch. You'll see how beautiful it looks just by one stroke. But the thing with golden mica is that it floats, on the piece. It floats. The mica powder, if it is not thickened, then it comes up and floats. So I experienced this before also, and even now. If you don't let your mica powder thicken, the resin to thicken or rest for a while, it will float on you and it'll go on to your other pigment. Now I'm adding my the leftover white I had. And adding white color always brings something bright. It gives a very I don't know how to explain the brightness in a piece. It looks very nice. You can see in this piece itself how adding white color just glows up the whole piece. So this is the thing. And I'm trying to think and put in where the leftover resin that I have to just finish up the resin, and even increase the height of the piece, because I didn't want it to be a very thin like a plate. I wanted little bit of thickness around 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter around. So that is why I had mixed so much of resin, around 350 grams of resin. It's a lot. So now I'm just putting my gold mica how much ever I can, wherever I can. Tell me in the comments below, what are you all trying to make and how are you liking this till now, the design, and what the result has been, and the pattern. What are the colors that you guys like? Let me know in the comments below, so I will know what is good and what is not, because as even I am a new artist, I do not have much idea about all this. I have very few pigments and powders, so even I'll know what is good, what is working for you all, and I'll buy the same. I for me, my personal is this golden mica. I like it, and the gold foil is there. I am planning to take other micas as well, but let's see what I'm not sure which color to take. Let's see if I can get some suggestions from you guys in the comments and make pieces with that. This is the white pigment is opaque white pigment, not something very extraordinary. This is plain white pigment, and this is the brown one. I told you it was a liquid pigment, translucent liquid pigment. To the white pigment, I added like a very, you can say, a touch of sand. I have a sand pigment too, So I added a little bit of that just to break the extreme whiteness of the pigment. I didn't want to be just extreme white, so just a pinch, maybe like a tint of it I added. That was also opaque sand pigment, so I use that often whenever I don't want a pure white thing, just to make it like little off white or lesser than pure white maybe. So I do that. And even in the brown shade I made, because the pigment was not mixing well, I added a little bit of black opaque pigment, uh, very little, just to darken the color, and so that I didn't want a very translucent piece, so just to reduce the translucent effect and little bit of opaqueness, because I want the stand I'm going to put down under the plate is I didn't want that to show the middle part, so that is why I add a little bit of black opaque pigment to the brown pigment in the brown pigment itself. So you can always mix and match pigments and create your own colors. That always works as per your creativity and imagination. So this is the piece until now, and you see me doing all these things and scooping out all the pigments how much ever I can in the whole video now, because as I told you, I don't like to waste, and it's all going to be the same, and I'll just keep putting it wherever I feel that there's less pigment or there should be more or something is missing. I'll just keep adjusting, and that is what you're going to see in the video now. I hope you all like this, and this gave you some idea to your upcoming pieces. If you liked it, please like the video, and do comment below as to how much you liked it and what are your thoughts on it. And thank you for watching my video, and I hope I make more videos like this and try to help those people who are new to resin, as I also was searching for videos when I was new to resin and didn't find much, so I thought I'll make few videos that can help even one or two people. If I can help in making few projects, it'll make me very happy. So you can continue watching now how I do this further and keep adjusting the things.